This focus on, well, skills, it's global in nature. Where are you focusing the investment?
Oh, thank you, Caroline. Excited to be here. We all know this. Data and AI are transforming the world. And Snowflake is right at the center of it. It is the most consequential platform for data and AI. And we felt that it was really important that we help upskill people. So we are investing a lot into this. This is the 1 million minds on a single platform program. A lot of it is dedicated to emerging markets. But it also benefits companies that are in the US because they have competency centers in India. As you were saying, we want to get 100,000 people trained right this year, but the ambitious plan is to train 1 million people in data and AI. Yes, partly Snowflake, but more generally data and how AI can be used over the next 4 years.
Philanthropic in nature, but what about the skills shortage right here in the United States where Snowflake is based? How confident are you that you could get the right talent in the door to help build your generative AI offerings right now?
Well, so we've been at this for several years. We have an amazing team. We also work extensively with all of our customers here. In fact, one of the programs that we run with our customers here are hands-on workshops that our sales engineers run with our customers. And this is great for them because they get to learn about new technology, how they can be more efficient with Snowflake. It raises the general level of awareness. So we are doing this across the board, both within Snowflake, but also with our customers that are here and in emerging markets like India and others.
Talking of India, I mean, the US gets an awful lot of talent from India via H-1B visas, for example. Is that something that you use a lot? How confident are you of getting the right talent from abroad right now, considering the next administration? It seems as though Trump, thus far, is pretty pro the H-1B visa scheme.
Look, I came as a student. I was on an H-1 visa. A lot of people, have had amazing opportunity and impact in areas like high tech where there is a real shortage. So we use it, but we also hire a lot of folks from our own universities here in the United States. We are fairly confident that the program is a win-win and that it'll continue.
I think the thing we talk to most with leaders such as yourself is an anxiety over talent. But there's also currently an anxiety over infrastructure when it comes to the future of generative AI. You just heard the latest and worries of a slowdown or at least some curtailments in getting the latest Blackwell chip into, well, the data centers that are so needed. Are you hearing that from clients, worries about access to chips and ones that ultimately work within their server racks?
I mean, there's a lot of attention that is going into this space in terms of how do you do, what's called inference. How do you use these AI models at runtime? And for a company like Snowflake, we care a little bit more about doing inference right so that our customers can use these models than we do about training. When it comes to training, absolutely, we work with wonderful partners like Anthropic, which went live on Snowflake last week, by the way, to help them train great models. While there is some shortages in some areas, but there are also lots of great new things that are coming, new kinds of chips, lots of new innovations, new models that are smaller. We feel pretty confident about being able to meet demand for the kind of use cases that our customers want to use on top of Snowflake.
There's been a lot of confidence from your own investors. It's been building in terms of the product pipeline that you're bringing, the generative AI innovations. Just tell us through the product roadmap at the moment as to whether or not, look, you're meeting demand. What does demand feel like right now? Because for many, it felt like a hype cycle in terms of actually being able to be productive with some of these tools.
That's right. Yeah, so, I've been CEO for a year. And a lot of my attention has gone into accelerating product velocity, product delivery. And I'm pretty happy with what we have done. Over 25 products that we made available to all of our customers, including many in AI. And what is unique about Snowflake is that we work very, very closely with our customers to help them realize value. We work on what are called use cases, which is how they think about a business function that we can help them fulfill. And in AI, we have over 1,000 use cases that are in production, thousands of customers that are using our AI products. a lot of strength in the core Snowflake product, which is really around analytics, plus momentum around the new things that we are doing with data engineering and AI. And it's really this combination of core strength, new products doing well, that makes me feel pretty optimistic about 2025 and what we are able to do. Absolutely, we are meeting demand. We're also hiring a lot of people because we think there's a lot more business to be created.
Where are most of the inbounds coming from? Is it brand new wins that you're making, people who are adopting generative AI and wanting to use it for the first case? Are you managing to take from competitors? Look, we've talked often about Databricks ramping up its own private numbers and money thus far. Microsoft is a key competitor. How are you managing to make inroads, Sridhar?
Snowflake is the is the easiest to use, fastest time to value, and most efficient data platform that there is. A lot of our competitors are still implementing features that we had 5, 6, 7 years ago. So it is a world-class product. And what we did with AI was make it a natural complement to how people use existing Snowflake products. This is why you have customers, like Disney and Hyatt, use things, for example, in machine learning on top of Snowflake. And so when it comes to incremental revenue that is being generated, for Snowflake, it typically comes from existing customers. Most first deals, most new relationships that Snowflake has with companies tend to start small, like $50,000, $100,000, but they can rapidly ramp up to millions of dollars. In areas like AI, what we are very clear is in our ability to enhance the value of data that people already have in Snowflake. We are not an AI research lab. We don't compete with OpenAI or Anthropic. We partner with them. It is that combination that unlocks value very, very quickly for our existing customers.
You're such a great mind to talk about this with, Sridhar, because not only are you offering the latest in generative AI products to be used in the real world rather than hypothetical, but you were busy building, an application previously that used large language models. So I just want to understand the future of 2025. Will we get the reality of return on AI investment, do you think?
Well, I think the reality of AI is here. When it comes to any kind of content that even you and I want to generate, whether it's a new blog that we want to write or better formats and existing thoughts that we have, or even generate a fun new image, we are already turning to AI. And that was the promise that my previous company, Neeva, which was a search engine, saw. And that was the main reason why Snowflake acquired Neeva, because we were able to see into that future of making AI easy to use as well as powerful. I think this is absolutely going to be the year where you're going to see broader and broader applications of AI. I roughly tell people any visual interface that we have used so far probably has a better version powered by AI. Information is going to be a lot easier. Data transformations are easy when you use language models. This is what people use Snowflake AI, Cortex AI for, because somebody that's just an analyst that knows how to write SQL queries is now an AI analyst because they can use the power of these AI models in their day-to-day work. I think similar to phones, it's just going to be a technology that permeates everything we do, and we are right at the forefront of how our customers are making this happen.